Salutations, my fellow dudes and dudettes, and welcome to the finale of Sonic CD. Now that we managed to, get Amy out of danger, don't worry, she'll be fine. We are now in Metallic Madness, the final level of the game, and arguably the most dangerous. I still say that Wacky Workbench and Chorus Quadrant are still harder levels because of like how the levels, with Wacky Workbench, you're constantly jumping around a lot, and you could spend more time in that level than you really want to. With Stardust Speedway, its level design was all over the place, and you could be thrown backwards time and time again, and it was really aggravating. With this level, there's no like gimmick preventing you from like traversing through the level. The level itself is the initial threat, because this level's got everything. It's got spikes. It's got crushing barrels. It's got some of the more dangerous badniks. I had it. I just had it. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, it has buzzsaws of all things. Like, Robotnik's not screwing around with Metallic Madness, and I like to believe it's more dangerous in the bad future. And that's something I should have brought up earlier in the playthrough. Whenever you go to the future, depending on what future it is, whether it's good or bad, determines whether the difficulty of the level, like how much the difficulty goes up or down. Well, I'm sorry. Anyways, when you go to the good future, the level is actually pretty comfortable. There's really no badniks around, and I believe like hazards are very scarce. They're not all over the place in the levels. With the bad future, it's a whole different story. With the bad future, there are badniks everywhere, a lot of hazards, and I mean a lot of hazards. This level was a big offender of that. So I highly suggest you get the good future for this zone. Unfortunately, like a dope, like I said before, I didn't show off where the robot generator is, because look at this place. There's also these bomb guys. They're actually pretty similar to the ones in Starlight Zone back in Sonic 1. When they explode, they release a bunch of little bomb particles all over the place. However, not only are the particles that it releases, and I died there. Not only are the particles that they release when they explode much bigger, it spreads everywhere. I think it's like 4 on each side, and it's actually pretty hard to dodge. Now, as you can clearly see, the reason I'm not showing off the robot generator is that it's actually pretty infuriating to get to the past. Now, I'm not sure if you could actually use those gears to actually go to the past. I don't think I've ever tried that previously, but that's like the only option I could probably provide, because this place is very dangerous. In order to travel to the past, or heck, even the future, not only do you have to find the signpost, you also need to get a good amount of speed going, and you need to keep that speed going for a good few seconds. And considering the fact that there's a lot of dead ends with this level without having to jump, not to mention all the hazards everywhere, it is very hard to actually find a good place to warp. And even then, like, if I remember correctly, because I was watching someone else's LP as a guide previously to help me with this, and they did show where they didn't manage to show where the robot generator is, but they were having such a hard time because this level is very dangerous. I love how I'm ranting about this. I'm not even commenting on what's going on screen. We got Mini Sonic right here. I don't know what the purpose of it is. All it really does is like change your it changes the sprite to to match the continue icon, essentially. I think that's really nice. Fun spike placement there. I love it. It's fantastic. You got this section with all these platforms with the spikes at the bottom. Obviously, you don't want to jump. You don't want to do that. Because then you'll just die, and that's no fun. But yeah, I don't understand the point of the lasers that turn you mini. They just sort of do that. I mean, Sonic looks looks absolutely adorable, but it's like, what is the point? It might increase your jump height just slightly. Otherwise, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know. And what the heck is with the music in the background? I commented on Stardust Speedway being weird, but you got some weird, like, demented guy yelling some sort of garbage, something. I don't know. It's like he's trying to give Sonic a garbled up message. Alright, welcome to the good future of the third act, the final level of the game, the true final level of the game, and the only level in the game with a bottomless pit. And it's right here. This section is very obnoxious. I don't think this section necessarily changes depending on whether you're in the good future or the bad future. I mean, it would have made sense for the good future version to actually have a flipping platform at the bottom. How this works is you can change from the foreground to the background and vice versa. It's pretty simple. So we haven't encountered these badniks much. In fact, I'm not even sure where they actually appear. They might be in Stardust Speedway, but I don't remember encountering them. But these badniks, these stupid badniks, are like the worst. Like, I managed to get them, knock them out pretty quickly, but let me just tell you this right now. That is not as easy as you think. Because they only have, a split second where you can actually hit them. Because their sprite is constantly flashing. You can't hit them when they're doing that. You can only hit them as they're just about to shoot the laser or as they're shooting the laser. And I've mistimed my jumps so many times during my test playthrough and during the Tails run. It was just infuriating. Heck, you might even see it during the Tails run. Alright, so enough about ranting about stupid lightning laser bugs. I don't know what the badniks are called. I know I've been trying to reference them with like Sonic 1, Sonic 2, but not with this game. It's because you go to the past, you get rid of the robot generator, all the badniks are gone, so they don't have much of an impact on the game if you're going it that way. Alright, so with this boss, you have to hit him 4 times. He's constantly moving around the screen with these little square blade things. I'm not exactly sure what they're supposed to be, but basically it's similar to the Metropolis boss. You could totally cheese this with invincibility frames if you wanted to. But depending on how far you've gotten into the battle will determine the kind of attacks he does. He'll like shoot them out sometimes, like here. He could drop them down like as if there were bombs. They don't explode, but and whenever he dips down, he's also going to like spread his little plates out, and then he hops. There's also that, and that's it. That's the final boss. Oh, see, told you Amy was just fine. Look at that. And dudes and dudettes, that was Sonic CD. Fantastic game. A little interesting note about like this credit sequence. If you're really familiar with this game, you probably noticed that there was a scene eliminated, removed from this ending. Because there should be a point where, like, Robotnik's getting away. He's got, like, a Chaos Emerald or a Time Stone or something. And Sonic just throws, like, a rock. And it collides with Robotnik. And like, his Egomatic or whatever, it just blows up. So weird. It's so weird that that was cut out. And for some reason, the song that's supposed to be here, I think it's called "Believe in Myself." Apparently, that was ripped off from this as well, and I never understood that. Same with the beginning theme. You could do anything. I don't get it. It's really weird. Because like I had to edit in the "You Could Do Anything" song. I think what I might do is edit in the whole vocal track from this with this song at the end of the credits, so you can listen to it proper. But I'm actually just going to use this as an excuse to talk about my final thoughts for the game. I love it. It's great. It's got some flaws here and there. Don't get me wrong. I will state that the biggest problem that this game has is if you want to go for that good ending, you are going to have a problem because collision detection can screw you up, bad nicks can screw you up. I mean, you can save scum as much as you want, but if you're trying to go for that best ending, you're gonna have your time with this game is going to be a little bit rusty, or not rusty, but you're not going to enjoy yourself as much as you would just playing the game normally. That's like the main thing this game's got going against it. And here's the best ending. Here's what happens when you get all the time stones or just get all the good features for all the zones. Bunch of flowers appear. Apparently, I couldn't show off the bad ending with the Tails run. So that's really strange. And now with that, we unlock Tails for our next playthrough. So yeah, like I said, I can't show off the bad ending because I did a bad future run with Tails, but for some reason, since you're playing as Tails, it's not canonical, so like you don't get any sort of opening scene or ending scene. So yeah. But yeah, that was Sonic CD. I'm gonna be uploading the Tails run over the next few days, and then we're gonna move on to the next game. I'll announce what we're doing at the end of the Tails run. But yeah, that's all I have to say. So I'll see you then. Until then, I got a juice.